great stars, two Oscar-winning actors who've become Broadway royalty in the new play that just opened called Exit the King, and they don't have it easy. Please welcome Susan Sarandon and Jeffrey Rush.
This goes on.
This is royalty.
These are dangerous weapons.
They're like the other character in the play. Thank you.
You both wear them throughout the play.
And Lauren Ambrose also has one, so they're whipping all around.
You're not a nice person in this play, I'm sorry to tell you.
I know, that's why I have so much fun.
And you have 90 minutes to live. You are...
He's not a nice person either.
No, he's not either. No. I mean, it's great fun, Exit the King. But you are in and out of the audience, and you're whipping around, and you're on the stage, and you're off the stage, and stuff. How do you manage with this?
Well, we had to wear them today because Susan and I are both deeply method actors.
So you never take them off.
And we like to spend all day, or else we're complete idiots. I think it's both.
So, Susan, are you going to become a lesbian at some point?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's a goal. Why not? I mean, you know, in the old days, you didn't have to define it so clearly. You could just kind of live. Yeah. I don't know what the obsession with labels is now.
I might become a queen.
I was not going to plunge into this, but since you brought this up, we were talking earlier in the week about David Letterman getting married, all these people getting married after years and years. What about you and Tim?
I'm going to be a lesbian. I already answered that.
Have you told him that his days are numbered?
Well, I might be very interested in that. I don't know.
Well, you two have romantic, long-term romantic relationships, both you, Jeffrey, and you, Susan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Barbara wants to know, what does it mean?
First of all, you don't talk about it on a talk show so the gods don't strike you. That's the first rule. Then you don't do the couple section of People's Magazine. That's the second rule. Okay. I don't know. Is there a third rule?
You don't do interviews. And you've been married 21 years, something like that.
Yeah, 21 this year.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Wow, congratulations.
Well, we're going to let you talk a little bit about why you're sashaying around.
Because Exit the King, this is written over 40 years ago, and you didn't just act in it, Jeffrey. You helped translate it into English. Then I believe you toured around Australia.
What do you mean? From what language?
French.
From
French.
So he translated into English.
Yeah.
So then you were in Australia touring around with it for a while before you brought it here. Now you got to do this. You're rolling around, like Barbara said. You're rolling around. It's so much physicality, 8 times a week. Wow. I mean, how do you do that?
Very carefully placed knee pads.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
I don't really do any specific, you know, physical build-up to the performance.
Drinking helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Because the performance is the workout, you know.
Yeah.
And I think in performance, you know, the way I trained, I've always thought of acting as being in a state of play. So it's just spending the day getting ready to be able to play.
You are a stage actor.
Yes.
Yeah, I did about 25 years of theatre before I sort of got into performance.
I mean, so many years before you decided to do Broadway. Do you get nervous? Do you have any pre-game routine that you go through?
It's been a little different on this one, having done the play before. It's been very rare for me to have something in repertoire that I get to do with this dream team in America.
Yeah, what a team.
And
it's a limited
so
run.
I've had a bit of an advantage on that.
As far as I know, it's limited so far. But I have to say that what's been extraordinary is his sense of play. I mean, like, Jeffrey's just so loose and so funny and constantly changing things. And for those of us who aren't so secure, it's been a real lesson in dropping your ego.
Because we know you from, you know, movie after movie, but you have not done a stage play.
Well, I've done a stage play, but not Broadway, where everybody's like making such a big...
37 years.
Yeah, no, I did off-Broadway, little tiny, like, in your living room, kind of. I did The Guys, I did a couple of White Days. I've done a lot of theater. No, this is like going in a movie from a 2-shot to a close-up where you suddenly go, oh, now I'm acting. You know, it's such a big deal they make about being on Broadway. You can't slide in humbly under the radar, so
that's a lot of money, that's why. They want to make sure it's going to...
You also have said that this is a very difficult role for you, aside from the fact that
everyone calls me a boring old cow.
Yes, they do.
Not pleasant.
And they talk the character, and they talk about your age, or not your age, but the age.
Yeah. Well, I thought, you know, now that I don't have My kids are at the age now where not only, you know, don't they? Well, the youngest is 16, so I'm not going to Little League games anymore. He dropped hockey, so they don't want to see me on the weekend. Whereas before, I was always trying to be somewhere. Yeah. So I thought, well, now's the time to do something where you give up your weekends. And do something that would really stretch me and be very different, and the type of play that it is, and the dialogue and everything. But I just didn't understand how uncomfortable it is when you're out of your comfort zone. I really underestimated my vanity and everything else.
With great company, I'm sure, the two of you. And you also have some Oscar history. 96, you won for Dead Man Walking, Susan, and then you presented the following year to Jeffrey for Shine.
So how we're connected.
Oh, this is the B-roll of it. That's nice.
Oh my God!
It was the most memorable thing for me because when my name got called out, and everyone always asks you, what's it like when you hear your name called out? And you think, well, okay, I've actually seen other people do this on television. You've just got to walk up, hug your partner, walk up those imaginary Arthur Murray footsteps to the middle.
Not wearing a train.
Not wearing a train. And I approached Susan, and we'd never met, and she sort of looked into my eyes very deeply, and she said, just take your time. And this wave of calm came over me. It was really, it was great. It was fantastic.
And then I hit him with a car in Banger Sisters and knocked him to the ground.
She had revenge.
Where do you wanted her for this part, though, specifically?
He sent me a letter. He, oh, there's Banger Sisters. Every time we say something, a picture comes up. So fabulous. Unbelievable. It's like magic. He wrote me the funniest, most lovely letter, and when I read the play, I just loved the play. Loved the play. I didn't quite understand, you know, that my character would be the one that is kind of like like a narrator a bit, so...
But you said your vanity, even though it's a play, that your vanity got in the way when they talk about the age and the...
Well, also just, you know, I'm a very touchy person, and I'm kind of like this the whole play, and I felt like everybody was all around doing things, and I was kind of like just being a bitch, and after a while I was like, oh, that's
I should add, though, that in the play, I have 2 wives, and I've passed over Susan Sarandon, fool that I am, for Lauren Ambrose, who plays my second wife, and they both have to cohabit in this imaginary kingdom. Yeah. So there's a lot of very interesting kind of older woman, younger woman kind of cross conflict.
Jeffrey, I was reading that you are now on an Australian... Your face is on an Australian stamp. Have you licked yourself yet?
No.
It's a stamp. It's a stamp. You know, you people, it's a stamp.
I'm waiting for others to do that. And it now only costs 55 cents to lick my back. I think the price was much higher in the past.
That's a big deal to be on a stamp.
Look, it was and they have this series called Australian Legends, which Australia Post brings out on Australia Day, which is like our July 4th. And some years they celebrated our great tennis players from the last few decades, or sports people, or opera singers, or Barry Humphries. And this year they did the Oscar winners, Kate Blanchett, Nicole, Russell Crowe, myself. Very nice. And I quite liked it because they did a portrait of us and they did a portrait of our character. And as David Helfgott, I've got zinc cream all over my nose. And I think that's a very Australian image.
You know, that's a great...
I want a rest stop in New Jersey. That's what I'm going for, to be named after me.
In this play, it's called Exit the King, and you can see Susan and Jeffrey. If you're in New York, it's at the Barrymore Theater here in New York, and there are wonderful performances. Your Majesty, I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.